All right, all right. What's up, guys? All you plebs, as Scott McElroy called you, all you folks who aren't in the Downers Club, all you people who take things for granted in life, and you probably live in your parents' basement and mooch off of your friends, and nobody wants to lend you money because you don't give it back. You people who listen to the show for free, you're getting a bonus episode this week because I want to. Because I'm nice like that. Because I love you, plebs. You're good guys. You're good folks. You're fine fellow humans. No, I just had something. This was gonna be the main episode for the week actually, and then the thought occurred to me. Hey, I haven't heard from Scott in a while. Let's and the world's supposed to end on the 6th, according to people who fear Trump. Let's have Scott back on and get his thoughts on that. So if you missed that episode, Scott's still hanging in there for QAnon. This is coming out in the future sometime after that. I have not witnessed D-Day or Kraken Christmas or I don't know, T-Day, I guess it would be. I have not yet witnessed that day, that occurrence, whatever happened. I don't know, so I'm not going to talk about that at all. But if you want to hear me and Scott make some subtle predictions and talk about the QAnon stuff, check out the episode I put out earlier this week, probably on Tuesday. But I did want to talk about something else. And some of you saw this. Lots of you saw this. I know that you did. Don't pretend like you didn't, even if you were silent on the matter. But it turns out, according to many people, because of a meme, I am, I am both a commie and a Nazi sympathizer. I, I don't know how that works. I mean, not that there's like really a difference between the two, but in today's common vernacular, one is used to mean you're a Democrat, and one is used to mean you're a Republican. So in the harshest ways, in the harshest words possible, I was called all those things because of one meme. And is that how you know that it's a good meme when it makes everybody equally upset who don't know how to read very well? I might be a little bit like angry on this topic because the amount of stupid that I read this week, just that one day, the amount of stupid that I read is just appalling. Like I'm the guy who's like, hey, love people and help them out, and we're gonna talk about that some more, and like empowering people and stuff. But when I post a thing, and you come at me with completely like the most juvenile logic and this is what you get. This is what you get. Tune out now if you had that argument with me. Feel free to tune out now. You're not going to enjoy this very much, but I did want to talk about it. It's pretty rare that I like bicker on social media. It's pretty rare that I get into arguments of any kind on social media because I typically don't see the point. I think that uh, I try to when I have these conversations online. I try to. I don't know. I'm not always good at it, but I try to be as calm and rational and think everything through as possible. And even tell the other person, hey, I'm not here trying to be a dick. I'm not here trying to just stir up some controversy. Like I have a legitimate point I'm trying to make, and that I did with this thing. And my point was made loud and clear, and it's uh, evidenced by the response that I got from it. So if you okay, first Brave Botanicals, go check them out. BraveBotanicals.com or MyBraveBotanicals.com or FreeOunceOfKratom.com is the website. You want some Kratom? I already drank my Kratom for today, so I'm not drinking it right now. But I did drink Kratom today because I really enjoy it and it helps wake me up. It helps give me a nice, good afternoon glow. So check them out at FreeOunceOfKratom.com. Try your Kratom for free, as the website would denote. Enter the promo code TSID so they know we sent you. You can also use that promo code to get 5% off all their awesome natural products. Check them out. FreeOunceOfKratom.com. Promo code TSID. Also, you guys in the Downers Club, you know who you are. You're the best. You're the best of the best. And nobody will ever take that away from you unless you leave the Downers Club. But patreon.com/The System Is Down is where you can join the Downers Club, support this show for as little as $5 a month. That'll get you bonus content. Bonus content. If the two plebs episodes this week weren't enough for you and you need more, you can get tons more by going to join the Downers Club at patreon.com/The System Is Down. It also helps support are growing this thing, making it bigger and better, more beautiful. And in return, we not only give you bonus content, we give you bonus merch. You can get club exclusive merch like these sweet hand-drawn mugs, and there's shirts, and there's stuff. So check it out, patreon.com/the system is down. That's that. Whatever, you know that. If you don't know that, then you didn't care about that anyway. So again, I am alone. I am solo here. I just finished up the conversation with Scott, and I wanted to do this too. So there's going to be my normal pauses for drinks and contemplations, and there's going to be a lot of side tangents and all sorts of things, but that's what we do here. We talk about all the uncomfortable topics like conspiracies, politics, religion, the things that trigger you and make you uncomfortable, and we do it not to trigger you and make you uncomfortable. We do it to open the dialogue and have the conversations, because the art of conversation is completely dead. And again, evidenced by the internet. Now, I may have titled, by the time this comes out, I may have titled it something that sounds like it was a bigger ordeal than it really was, because it wasn't that big of an ordeal. It was, in any of these cases, like, no matter who's getting attacked, it's not like the vast majority of my followers were like, pissed off by this one meme. No, most likely none of them have ever listened to the show, otherwise they wouldn't be jumping to these conclusions. The fact that they're assuming that I am either left or right in any real facet shows that they're not even listeners to the show. Because these aren't like secrets. My political leanings aren't secrets. I feel like I talk about it way too often, but if not way too often, at least enough that you can figure it out for yourself. So I don't argue that much on Facebook because there's no point to it, but when this happens, when it's just the matter of you literally don't understand what the word is or what I'm saying, then I have to respond, and my intention with responding to this was to help you understand the point that I was making. When you got angry and started name calling after that, all y'all, you know who you are. When you got angry because you still didn't understand the concept of a concept, that is on you, my friend. That is on you, and I will not apologize for that. So what is this meme? I guess we got to start there. What is this meme that triggered everyone, or at least a handful of people who didn't understand it? It's this here. It's this here. I'll give you a second to read it, because it's apparently a long-winded leftist meme, I've been told. It's also very pro-Trump. Yeah. Let me know when you're done. I'm currently searching for it so I can read some of the comments to you, because that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing here, guys. That's what we're doing. This is not just me complaining about a meme or a meme response. That's not what we're doing. What we're doing is breaking down some of these arguments, some of these poorly constructed arguments, and for the life of me, I would love to find this meme so I can read you some comments, but I scrolled away and now it's gone forever. Like the year 2020, but it'll live with us forever. All right, here it is. Okay, so you got it. To those who are listening, I'll go ahead and read it to you. I suppose I could have led with that. The concept of Black Lives Matter is good. This is Bart Simpson drawing on a chalkboard, because I was like, yeah, I've got this big, long, quote-unquote leftist meme. I've got a lot to say. I can't summarize it short enough to make it, the little, whatever you call them, the Facebook text meme things where you insert the background. Then it was too long for that, and I know that most people don't read long-winded rants unless they're like, I don't know, unless they already love you enough to value your opinion. So I decided, let's just have Bart Simpson tell these people my thoughts, and maybe that'll help get their attention. Seems to have worked. So he's writing on the chalkboard, the concept of Black Lives Matter is good. That's the first line. Next line, many things done in the name of Black Lives Matter are bad. The next line, the concept of the Proud Boys is good. Many things done in the name of the Proud Boys are bad. The concept of Antifa is good. Many things done in the name of Antifa are bad. The concept of MAGA is good. Many things done in the name of MAGA are bad. And then the concept of government is bad. All things done in the name of government are bad. Why do you think who do you think is really dividing us? Focus. So, Do you guys understand at least? I hope that the people who tune in are smart enough to understand. Um, yeah, yeah, it may trigger some of you that I used these words all together in a thing and didn't only speak angrily about them. Seems like that's the problem. I have to assume that the people who are commenting and getting into this rage are they read one of the lines, one of the words stood out to them, and they had the I don't know TLDR. They had some TLDR, and they were like, "Well, that says Antifa." So, and it says the concept of Antifa is good. No, I'm gonna respond now. No need to read the rest. Like that's what the majority of them seemed to be, because I'll just read you some of the comments, and I do have a point to all this. It's not just to complain about a meme, so bear with me. But we got to start here. One of the first ones up is it's meme saying, "Pray for me as I take this long and arduous journey to read this left wing meme." So it's a left wing meme to them. Um, Somebody else says, "Ah, yes, communism." To that I responded, "MAGA is communism?" And of course, there was no response. Like, how do you get communism out of that? Okay. So, as we read through some of these, keep in mind what this says. Let me explain it and break it down just a little bit. This says the concept of this group, of this cult, of this entity is good. The concept of Black Lives Mattering, of course, is good. The concept of being against fascism, of course, is good. The concept of making America great is good. See, I leave out the again because I don't think it's ever been, I don't think it's ever been great all around enough for us to like want to harken back to everything exactly how it was. You know, like that's thrown out there, the slavery and stuff like that. Of course, it's bad, duh. But we want to make America great. And by we, I mean me. I made the hat. If you missed it, I've made a hat a long time ago. It's available in the System is Down store. Take off the again. I've gotten into some trouble for wearing this hat. Surprise, surprise. Even at the Libertarian National Convention, I had a drunk lady come up to me as I was just sitting there alone minding my own business. I was wearing my other version of this hat, the classier one. I've never worn this one before the episode this week, but wearing my pink and black one, which is much fresher. And she comes up to me and she says, "What do you mean, make America great again?" or something. I think she even said again. And I'm like, "That's not what it says." And she started arguing. I just sat there. I was like, "Go ahead. What do you have to say?" And she said something like, "Oh, do you mean all of America?" I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "You mean South America?" I'm like, "Sure." But like she just didn't have anything left to say because then I guess then it occurred to her that the hat has different meaning, or she just didn't believe me because she assumed that I don't care about South America because I was wearing a hat that says "Make America Great." That's the level of woke, the level of brainwashing, the level of cult, and it goes both ways, as we're gonna find out. But yeah, you can buy that tsidpod.com/shop right now. You can even buy the handsomer, sexier one. So, where was I? I don't know. I've got some thoughts. I've got some thoughts. Like the whole point of the meme itself. These concepts. Like I didn't just slap something down. You can see that I spent a little bit of thought. Maybe you can't. Whatever. Maybe you still think I'm stupid. That's fine. But I spent a little bit of, like, I don't do these things lightly. If I'm going to start the conversation, I've got to have a perfectly good reason, and I've got to have a way to back it up. Like, I have to choose my words carefully so that, you know, when stuff is thrown back, sure, I put MAGA in there, and I don't think that we should make America great again. I think that we should make America great. I think we should make everyone great. I think we should bring everybody up to, you know, good conditional levels and do our best as individuals to do so, not have our government forcibly take our money and take our dollars away from us and our property in order to bring people up to the same level. I think that we should be allowed to keep our taxes and give those to people. We would be able to be much more charitable if we weren't stolen from. Anyway, that regardless, the idea. When I chose this wording, I thought about it long and hard because I meant what I said. This is not mental gymnastics. This should not be a hard concept to wrap your brain around, but you don't understand what the word concept means. So if you don't know what a concept is, then any concept, I would imagine, is not that easy to wrap your brain around. I'm going to go to dictionary.com. Let's see what the word means. Hang in there. So concept. Concept, a general notion or idea. Conception, an idea of something formed by mentally combining all its characteristics and particulars. A construct, mentally, the idea. A directly conceived or intuited object of thought. Okay? So that it's a thought. It's an idea. I'm not saying the idea of this group forming is good. I'm saying the idea itself is good. I did not say the concept of the group Black Lives Matter is good. I said the concept of Black Lives Matter is good. I did not say the concept of the group, the Proud Boys, is good. I said the concept is good. And that one's a little bit stickier because they don't have one of these names where it explains signals what they're pretending to be as much as some of like Antifa seems to a lot. The Proud Boys, and feel free to correct me on this, but this is my understanding of what the Proud Boys idea and concept is. They saw rioting and looting happening. They joined together to stop that. I know it was before that and yada yada, Gavin McInnes, I think it is, and everything, and it started as a joke, which is the kind of the funniest thing about it, is that it became a serious thing called the Proud Boys. But to my understanding of the concept is defending property, being a well-intentioned militia, people who only have the intention of defending their property. I have no problem with that. I think that is a good thing. Now, with the Proud Boys and with all these groups, what happens after the concept? You take a great idea on paper, you make it into an organization, and then you put a bunch of like cults of personality around it, build it into a movement that is heavily steeped in political leanings and diversity in many ways. You can take a great idea and make a cult around it. That doesn't make the cult good, you know? There are just because somebody says that they have your best intentions in mind doesn't mean that they actually do. They might have actually tricked you into trusting them by convincing you that they had your best intentions in mind, which I think, personally, every single one of these cults has done. So we're not talking about cults. Well, we are talking about cults, but this meme is not cults. It's concepts. And in wording it this way, I know some people, they didn't like the fact that I confused them with this big, crazy mental gymnastics word concept, but I try to give people the benefit of the doubt. I try to be nice enough to assume that you understand the definition of the word concept. I'm not asking you to understand all the words that I used necessarily. But this one word in particular seemed pretty, especially stickier than most. Because if you are going to disagree with this, then you can wordplay around with this and figure out a way to make this not the case. But for the most part, the way I look at this is, if we are talking about concepts, which I said what I meant and I meant what I said and I meant concepts, if we're talking about it as concepts, then you can't really disagree with this unless you disagree with Black Lives Mattering. Do you disagree with that? Do you think that Black Lives don't matter? If not, sure, you should be able to agree with that. And you should especially be able to agree with the next line that says, many things done in the name of Black Lives Matter are bad. If you agree, you could disagree with the idea that fascism is bad and we should be anti-fascist. Sure, there's a group that calls themselves Antifa that seem to be around. I know they're not a group. Sorry, guys. They're not an organization. Sorry, libertarians and liberals. I mean, some libertarians. Lefty-leaning libertarians who keep throwing out the they're not an organization thing. It's fine. They don't have to be an organization to have groups, Facebook groups, Facebook pages, all use the same name, all wear the same, logo. They all fly the same banner. They might not be sharing their wealth to make it an organization, which is odd for, people who are for socialism. They're not sharing their wealth or anything, at least not, where people can actually see it happening. So they're not an organization. But when you have all these things together, you're working together, you just happen to show up at all the same places, you're in communication with each other, you're having meetings. We've seen them through Project Veritas. I don't know what you want. They're a group, okay? This is not just anybody who happens to be anti-fascist. Now, that's not to say there aren't some well-intentioned people who are anti-fascist, like myself, who are mistaken by this premise that if you are against Antifa, then you must be for fascism. But there are also some people, like when I put it out there like this, that the concept, like this wasn't even supposed to be a head scratcher. This is me saying, of course I agree that fascism is bad and I am anti-fascist. But I don't condone all the bullshit. And you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, I can do an episode on all the bullshit. If you're one of the libertarians out there who are still saying that we should be supporting this group because they're on our side, because they're anti-fascist like we are, if you're lying to yourself still, let me know and I can make you an episode all about that. But any honest person knows that the group Antifa has done some shitty stuff. Right? Okay. But the idea of anti-fascism, generally accepted in our country. The concept of MAGA, again, I would leave off the A, is good. And that's debatable. Sure, there may have been some time where everybody was happy. I would say 5 years ago, everybody was happier with each other than they are now. So there could be a time, but that's neither here nor there. Then many things done in the name of MAGA are bad. Now, let's read some stuff. The first comment that I got was on the MAGA stuff. This wasn't the first comment that I got. The first one I'm going to read, though. I'm not going to read names. I don't care about bullying or doxing or whatever like that. I'm not looking to have people go attack people or whatever. I'm not even going to tell you where this one was posted, and it wasn't in the System is Down page. But this guy says, what things were done in the name of MAGA? And I said, the concept. And I put it in quotes. The concept, like saying, go back, look at the meme. I'm talking about the concept. He says, it says many things done in the name of MAGA are bad. I can't think of anything done in the name of MAGA. What? Like, this is what you're coming in with? This is your rebut? Like, there were many things there to trigger, but your argument is nothing has ever been done in the name of MAGA. And I said, you think nobody has ever committed any act at all, good or bad, in the name of MAGA? He said, maybe the tariffs? I said, okay then, well, I'm glad we agree. And then it that one got a little crazy because then people started commenting, agreeing with me, and just saying the different terrible things that Trump did. And I'm like, I don't understand where the disconnect is here. What do you mean nothing has been done in the name of MAGA? Wouldn't you agree as a Trump supporter or anti-Trump supporter? Isn't it just truth that anything that Trump does under the guise of making America great again are things done in the name of MAGA? Am I missing something here? Let me see if there's anything else in this one that's worth reading. It's a bunch of people saying like, well, I don't know. Yeah, just like the biggest spending bill in human history, and I said, yep, that's also a thing, and like just a bunch more like that. Um, that's not me. So yeah, I ended that one. I think this is the last thing I said in that particular thread. But I said once more the concept. Well, let me read why I said that. They said were those really done in the name of MAGA? I don't remember anyone ever associating gun control with MAGA. Are we defining MAGA as anything Trump did? I mean, I would say so. I would say so when he's doing things and saying he's doing things to make America great again. That's his claim. Then I don't know how else you say that something was done in the name of MAGA. To that end, I don't see how you say anything is done in the name of anything, though. Like, do people have to declare it as they do it? I guess with like Black Lives Matter they would, because they would be saying Black Lives Matter, and then they would be doing a thing to show that they're outraged about Black Lives not mattering or whatever. I don't know, but my response to that is nope, that's not me. I said once more, the concept of "Make America Great" is a good concept. The people, obviously, Trump, the people, obviously Trump included, who do things under the guise of making America great, are sometimes bad. It's cult. And when I use the term cult, I don't mean evil necessarily. I would say maybe all these things, maybe they have some evil stuff going on behind the scenes. Maybe every single one of them. So I'm not here to point fingers and say one cult is better or worse than the other. I'm saying get the hell out of cults, whether they're good or bad. Just leave and wake the hell up to the one that you're in. And we made this point on the last episode too. I think it was in the bonus. I think I referenced it later in the episode, but these cults, like, these people don't necessarily know. Like, they don't see the things that are happening that others around them see, others outside of the cult. When you're in a cult, you don't see all the flaws. You try to do mental gymnastics to justify the flaws, to prove, like, it's almost like it's born out of shame and guilt because you don't want to admit that you're there. But there's something kind of nagging in the back of your head that something just ain't quite right. And then eventually maybe you wake up. How do you wake up, though? Like, what can wake you out of that if you don't even know that you're in something? What if you feel like you're in a group that is 100% for the betterment of humanity, but behind the scenes they're committing crimes and murder and burning things down and punching women in the back of the head who disagree with them politically? What if that? What if you start to wake up? Then what? Like, this is the problem with this division culture that we've created as a society that I don't think is an accident. The problem is that if these people start to wake up a little bit, if these people start to realize, hey, I don't need this label to believe or to be like for black people, or I don't need this label that comes with all this baggage to be against fascism. I don't need to be a part of that cult because that cult is doing terrible things. Or the Proud Boys or MAGA. I feel like I should throw all of them in there every time just so you know that I'm not leaning. But if you're going to pull somebody out of a cult, or especially somebody who doesn't know that they're in it, if you're in the Matrix, if you're in the literal Matrix itself, you don't even know that it's there. People have used the red pill thing, blue pill, but all these pills, I don't know. I'm for ending the drug war, but the pills are annoying, and people are using them as though they actually have any meaning. Oh, we're gonna red pill this person. Oh, you mean you're gonna scream bumper sticker slogans at them until they change their mind? Yeah, that works. Like, nobody can be red pilled or blue pilled or green pilled or black pilled or any pilled. I don't care what the pill is. You don't join a cult without a reason, and you don't leave a cult without a better reason. So, if you're trying to wake up somebody in the Matrix, Do you go in and start screaming at them on a soapbox like Alex Jones in Scanner Darkly? Do you stand on a street corner and yell with a megaphone, or do you try and talk to them? Try and meet them first. I'm not saying there isn't a time and place for standing on a soapbox on a street corner and screaming, hey, guys, this is not working. We got to stop. Because I do agree that our country is headed for massive collapse, the likes that we've never seen before. We are the biggest country, the biggest empire the world has ever seen. And we're just going to, if this doesn't work out, if this whole, hey, let's pass the ball of power back and forth every 4 years doesn't end up working out, and people see that the system is completely fucked up and broken and flawed and down, it doesn't go great, but it might go better in time. You gotta break stuff. I'm not a black-pilled nihilist or anything like that. I don't think that there's no hope. But I think that if we keep going in this direction, then I'm going to be fine with there being no hope and with pushing the idea of, all right, let's end it. I think that we should end it massively anyway. We should end the system. We should end the corruption amongst the powers that be. And the only way I see doing that is by limiting the amount of power that individuals have. No. Don't mishear me. The amount of power that individuals in government have. We can't have people, we can't give people so much power and authority to lord over our lives and expect it to go great. It just doesn't work in human nature. But I think giving the actual individual, the pleb, giving them more power. You are the power. You know that phrase. Giving you more power to do and say and be what you want to be and what you're supposed to be, what you were made to be. That is the most important thing. So let's read a little bit more. Let's get into... So I've been called, what, a leftist? I've been called... somebody said boomer alert. I don't even know how that relates. Are boomers so out of touch that they think that Black Lives Matter, or think that Antifa, the concept, the idea that, think that fascism is bad? You gotta word this so carefully, otherwise people will, grab it and pretend like you said something you didn't. It's happened to me. It's happened to me on multiple occasions. But somebody says, I'll just give first names. David says, I'm all for coalitioning with people I don't completely agree with on specific issues or tasks. That's how organizations... Sorry, this font is too small and far away. Let me blow it up a bit. I'm a boomer. You're right. I can't see far away. I also have trouble reading. You want to make fun of me for that too? But I also don't like the syncretistic whatever, BS. This is like saying we must be anti-racist, which means not being racist. That's not what it means. It's unintentionally superficial reading of radical leftist terminology that means a lot more than being against racism. I agree. And that's the point that this meme is making, is that there are words that are being used to mean alternate things than what they really mean. There are phrases that cannot be taken at face value anymore because they've been used to mean different things. They've been twisted. I'm not twisting it. You are. I'm saying the words that I mean. I believe that Jo Jorgensen was saying the words that she meant. She's still wrong. When she said we must be actively anti-racist. We're libertarians. We mustn't be actively anti-anything except for aggression. If there's aggression, if somebody's racism goes to the point of aggression, obviously that you should be actively anti that. You should be defending people. Still, saying must is just asking for libertarians to get mad because we're all about, hey, leave me alone. I'll do what I want. I'm not a racist, so I should not have to be concerned about constantly screeching about racism all the time on YouTube to make sure that some people feel more comfortable with me. Hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully that does make me more of a racist. That's how this is. That's how this works. This guy is twisting my words and making them mean something that they don't. He's not taking what I said. And he's right. He's right that that happens. So I agree with you, except for the fact that you didn't read what I said, or you didn't think about what I said or take it at face value. That's the problem with social media in general, is that we jump to conclusions. I said, in response to that, I said, sure, the point I'm making is that people who joined these cults were likely sold a deceptively enticing bill of goods. People don't join cults because they have good Kool-Aid. Simply trying to understand where they're coming from is going to pull more people out of cults than angry mic drop bumper sticker slogans, in my opinion. So yeah. Like, if my child was in like joining a cult, even one of these cults, if they were like heavily steeped in it to the point where they couldn't even see what they were a part of, where they couldn't see, where they tried to justify away all the wrongs that were done by that thing, same as I do with the Libertarian Party. I not really. I don't really try to justify it all away, but I understand that there is a level of cult-like mentality of being a part of something to the point where if somebody says something you don't like, you can still go along to get along, type thing, so you don't have to leave it. Like, everybody has a tipping point to where they say, oh crap, this is worse than I thought. And if somebody's in a cult, though, where there's being unwarranted violence, not out of self-defense or anything, if there's being violence on another human being just for thoughts, then they are too deep into that cult to realize that it's a cult, I would assume. Because you can't see that and go, yeah, I still gonna, still gonna fly that flag. Anyway, David responds saying, I don't care about converting people from Antifa whatsoever. Not because it cannot be done per se, but because it's our niche. It's not our niche. I assume he's talking about libertarians. What's not our niche exactly? I'll continue. I do not want to be like a leftist who can't understand where other people are coming from, but I will also not pretend that the odds of someone pulling out... My reading skills aren't working today. Pulling out of a cult as commingled with deep personal issues as Antifa are anything short of very grim. Maybe it's not my reading. Maybe it's that there's zero punctuation. Actually, there's a few. Don't fact check me, bro. They are hardcore ANCOMs, and those types of people have zero compunctions against stabbing you in the back and are cynical as fuck. Do you know somebody? Are you referring to somebody in particular? Because it sounds like you've been wronged before by somebody who goes by the Antifa label. Sounds like you have a personal axe to grind. I have I understand that sentiment. I understand the idea that there's been a whole lot of stuff that the media is refusing to report on, where people flying Antifa flags punch people and kill people and, shoot the guy in the street for being a Trump supporter, it seemed like, from all the evidence. I get that. That's not what this is about, though. I'm not even saying that you should, I'm not even saying that you need to be the one. Clearly, you don't need to be the one to go talking to Antifa people and trying to persuade them to join the Libertarian Party. That's not what I'm saying at all. That if you thought that was the title that I gave you, no, I'll take it back. You don't want it, and I didn't mean to give it to you anyway. What I'm saying is these people joined a cult. They were sold an enticing bill of goods. And all I'm asking you to do is understand that. Understand that they're not completely insane, or at least they weren't at one point in their life. Maybe they've gone completely off the rails, but there was something that drove them to that level of insanity. Maybe it was even just loneliness. Maybe they wanted to be a part of something. I don't know. But I want people to try to empathize just a little bit with the person that's on the other end of Facebook. I'm trying to do that as much as possible. It's very hard, though, when you're taking my words not at face value and then accusing me of being too confusing for you. I made it very, very simple. And that's the main reason why I wanted to do this episode was because of that, because of so many people taking it not at face value, that I felt like I should come and explain what the meaning was. Not for the sake of, I don't think any of these people are trying to cancel me or anything, or I don't think that they were ever going to listen to me to begin with. But this was a meme where you got to think a little bit. Like, you got to think about what I'm trying to say. The fact that I ended it with, and this is a libertarian guy, I would assume, the fact that I ended it with, no, the government is the main thing. All I'm saying is focus. I'm saying you can still have enemies in these cults. You can still think that they're bad cults. You can still think that everybody who comes out of there, like, you can be naive as possible, enough to think that everybody who goes by the name of Antifa is a terrorist. You can think that. You'd probably be wrong. I haven't met anybody that's actually in Antifa. I know some people throw the name around because they like feeling cool and edgy. But I don't know. Like, you can't just... You can think that they're bad. Great. But just all I'm asking you to do is understand. Just understand the premise that got these people to think the way that they do. As I've said since the very beginning of the show, the person who disagrees with you on the other end of that magical window on your desk or in your pocket, the person that disagrees with you, they are not the main enemy. I would say 99.9% of the time, they're probably not even your enemy. They probably don't want ill for you. Most of them. Like, I don't want ill for this guy. I would like to believe, I choose to believe, he doesn't want ill for me either, even though we disagree on a thing. If this was even more heated, and I was talking to somebody, I don't know, who we'll get into, people saying that I'm pro Proud Boys or whatever, the person that you're disagreeing with is just somebody who's been given, like, we're all a million different variables. That person was given a different set of variables than you, so they came to different conclusions than you. There is a chance that you have something in common. I would say there's almost a guarantee that you have more things in common with that person than what you disagree with them on. And why the hell would they listen to you if you won't listen to them? That is it. Focus on the main issue, which is the people that create these cults, create this division. I would have to look into it, but I would imagine all these places stem from a place that is, or all these ideas stem from they stem from people who had ideas that I could probably understand. Might not agree with, but I could at least understand. I don't think that the initial premise to any of these groups was, I'm going to burn the country down. And if you think that, you're probably stupid. Or at least, stupid. Just come on. It's logic. It's just logic that these groups are, or these ideas. That's the thing with all these things. You have to separate the two, because I can say that and it's going to be pulled to mean that the concept of Antifa is great, or the concept of the Proud Boys is great, or whatever. Or concept, the cult of those things are great. It is confusing, I'll give you that. It is, the world that we live in today is confusing, so if this doesn't necessarily compute, this idea of a concept, I get that. But I'm not trying to all I'm trying to do is open the conversation and discuss with you guys, what do we do about it? What do you do if you agree that 2 out of the 4 cults are bad and you just assume that the other is great, or if you think that they're all bad, or if you think that they're all great? I guess if you think they're all great, it doesn't matter. If you think that any of these people are in harmful cults that have done atrocities on our country and on mankind, which I do, then what do we do about that? Like, can we take the conversation there instead of bickering over names? That's my point. Can we take the conversation to, now what? No, we can't, because you're too busy yelling at people online that you disagree with. Like me now, apparently. Okay, that one, scrolling down, make sure there wasn't anything more fun here. We already did that one. Oh, somebody said, and you could probably guess which, like, I'm in groups of all different shapes and sizes on Facebook, so you can probably guess by these comments which groups were what, but Jose says, MAGA is shit. PH are shit? What's PH? Is that Proud Boys? I don't even know. Antifa are shit. Government is shit. I mostly agree with the first point. That MAGA is shit? The first point? And I responded to that just saying concepts, not cults. He didn't respond to that. Yeah, the cult of MAGA sucks in many ways. The cult of PH, same. Antifa, same. Government sucks. Government sucks all around. There's not. Maybe I've leveled up in libertarianness that I can trigger everybody with one fell swoop, but it's like we should all be able to agree now, though. Like, this should be more of a unifier than it is a divider, but people will use it and twist it to mean other things and use it to continue the division. All I want to do is help people just exit the matrix. Just that's it. Just exit the matrix. I'm not saying we're gonna get a walking stick and take off for Mordor or what have you, and like destroy the Death Star or anything like that. All I'm saying is, I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. Just reading these comments, it hurts my brain. I don't know. I already said it once, so I don't have to say it again. Rewind. Somebody, I think this is the same David, says, I'm all for... Wait, we already read that one. Now I'm getting all sorts of ass backwards. But Aaron says, nah, this is just directly response to the meme. He says, nah, this is a great illustration of why I don't identify with libertarianism in general anymore. The concepts behind these things are not good. They are fundamentally irrational and immoral. This type of ecumenical means versus ends talk is direct evidence of a worldview untethered to facts and ethics. No, it is not, because I'm not condoning any of these groups. There's nothing in here that condoned any of these groups. Unless you don't understand what a concept is. I said, my response to that was, between black people mattering, genuinely no fascism, private militia defense, and making America great, which concept do you hate the most? He said, in response, he said, your blatant dishonesty only fools those at or lower than your level of perception. The point of Black Lives Matter is not black people mattering, any more than the point of Antifa is genuinely no fascism. I know, but I'm not saying that the group is. I'm saying that the idea is. The idea of black people mattering is what we're talking about. I'm trying to point out the thing that y'all feel like you're trying to school me on. It seems like everybody's trying to get this mic drop moment where they're like, no, because twisting words. Like, stop twisting my words and just read the fucking thing. He said, he continues to say, and he's quoting, not quoting me. We'll read. This is a quote. I was kind of worried when I saw the burning crosses and white hoods, but now you've told me the name of your organization in case, though... I can see those lynchings were actually really good in concept, if not practice. He's making my point. Thank you, bud. Thank you for making my point. I responded saying, I didn't say all those groups were good. I said the concepts on the surface were good. That's how people got tricked into joining the cults, yada yada. I've already said all this stuff. Hopefully that helps clarify. Is there anything else good in here? Too long, didn't read. Yeah, I think I've already done this. Just the what do we do now thing. Like, I can agree with you that these are cults, now what? He says, well, look, I still don't think we precisely agree about what constitutes the good here, but I'm the crazy Ayn Rand dude in any group, so that's probably a given. He says, I think you've made the point much better just there than in the meme. There's at least some notions I can get on board with. There's definitely far too much of a tendency to file things under neat, easy categories out of habit rather than trying to understand their actions and motivations for them. Exactly. I'm not sure if he's agreeing with me or disagreeing with me there, legitimately, but that's what I was trying to say. So if he's disagreeing with me, then I'm very confused. It's general observation that most people live with a mix of good and bad premises. Exactly. There's much more things that aren't white or black in the world than there are things that are white and black only. There's gray areas, there's nuance, that's why we have conversations. That's why I prefer to talk to people. Like, even when I started the show, it was just an audio podcast, but I still insist on doing Skype face to face, because I think that there's so much nuance in the world. There's so much nuance in each individual, every single one of us. Every single one of us has a million variables. Like, can we just at least show each other some of those variables politely and discuss them and discuss why they came to be? If not, then what are we doing here? I lost my reading. Definitely far too much tendency, yada yada. It's my general observation that most people live with a mix of good and bad. I think that directly results in schizoid, contradictory movements we see more and more now. Sure. While I'm completely comfortable judging things as good or evil, understanding why and how things come to be what they are is the only way to judge the qualities insofar as they exist. My response to that, of course, obviously, should go without saying, is I completely agree and understand why and how things come to be. That was kind of the point I was trying to make. Immoral actions have been done under all of these groups that people do, and you get it. Yeah, that's it. That's it for that one. I'm going to jump over to, some of these are on, I guess I won't say where they are. Again, we already been over this. I don't need to, because then you'll just go yell at them, and I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for, if anything, okay, I'll tell you. I'll tell you where you can find this information. I'll go against the thing I just said, completely. Because the point of this show, if you're listening to this show this far, then you're probably familiar with this show, and you know this already. But if you don't, the point of this show is to have uncomfortable conversations. Sometimes those uncomfortable conversations can get a little emotional, and we bring emotions into it. Now, I'm going to tell you that this was on the System is Down page because I want you to go there and continue the conversation and show them the difference. Show them what we do in the System is Down forum. Show them what we do in the Discord. Show them what we do, what we used to do when we had like Downer Church, and I would have you guys come on the show and we would just all talk. Show them what this show was all about. Go there and be truthful, be honest, be smart, think your words through clearly, but don't be a dick. That's it. Just treat this person and these people with respect. But yeah, maybe it's time to start saying, hey, that's where it's happening. Like, can we get some more, like, not right, not left, not just disagreeing with this person? Like, get more people to go and just have this dialogue, have this conversation, because that's the only way to pull this person out of their cult, is to talk to them respectfully and rationally like an adult. Now, there's a good chance that I did not follow those rules here, but we're going to read some of them and discuss them. I just think that, yeah, maybe this is a step. Maybe this is a step towards our goal here of changing the world. One uncomfortable conversation at a time is branching out, pointing out conversations that are happening, because if you agree that on this very basic premise that we should be left alone, that we should be doing, things that we want, as long as it's not harming other people or their stuff. Like, that very basic premise alone, if you can handle that, then you should be able to talk to somebody online and just politely destroy their arguments. Because there's nothing better than a polite debate mic drop, Not that we're looking for mic drops here, but I think you understand. I think you do. I respect you enough to believe that you get what I'm saying. Don't go dox people. Don't even call them names. Don't even insult their intelligence, which I may or may not have done. I don't remember. Go and just inform them why they're wrong and try and hear them out if they have a good argument, which they won't. You'll see. Just a second. Oh, I see what the problem is. It's that fucking Facebook. The whole all comments or most relevant comments thing. Like, why is Facebook the one deciding which comments are the most relevant for me to read? Just give me the stuff, let me read it. on my own page. I want to know what the conversation is. Okay, so somebody said, we already read, yes, communism. Somebody said truth. So, yeah. I do want to keep emphasizing this point. This is not the culture. This is not the sphere. This is not the culture that we've created around this podcast in any facet whatsoever. There are so many, much more divisive topics that we've discussed on the show, off the show, in the forum. If you haven't joined the forum, get in there. If you're not a dick, go to tsidpod.com/forum. It's free. We've proven that you can do this. We've got a fairly decent-sized following to the point where we should have much more angry people if what they're saying, if what these few people saying is true. But the problem from their perspective is that they're liars, and they're not. These points aren't truth. They're just not. Okay, somebody said, Adam says, Proud Boys and MAGA are good? Hard pass. And so, of course, I'll spare you the same things over and over again. Mary weighed in some, but down to where I said, I never said any of the cults were good. I think the concept of well-intentioned militia defending private property is good. I also think the concept of making America great is good. That is all. He responded, I'm quite certain your intent is good, but the meme misses the mark, in my opinion. Oh, this is the guy. This is the guy. Dave says, MAGA isn't a concept, it's a slogan. Words have meaning. Use them properly. I just need to let that sit for a minute. That is the dumbest argument I have ever heard in my life. And I've talked to some stupid people on and off this show. MAGA isn't a concept, it's a slogan. Words have meaning. Use them properly. Words have meaning. Read them properly. What are you talking about? Yes, MAGA is a slogan. Comprised of what? Comprised of little chunks of letters that create letter chunks. We call them letter chunks. Yes, MAGA is a slogan. Its words make up that slogan. That slogan is a concept. People did not join MAGA because they're white supremacists. People did not join MAGA because they want to, I don't know what you guys are claiming, because they think Russians are good or whatever you think. People did not join, they were not sold the concept of being on board with Donald Trump and his slogan and his movement and his words and his concepts and his ideas. They weren't sold on a bad thing. They were sold on the idea of making America great. And that is all the things that I just said. I said making America great is a concept. Cults are different from concepts. See, I'm still giving this guy, this dummy, the benefit of the doubt and giving him his chance to realize what it is I'm saying, but he doesn't like it. I said making America great is a concept. Cults are different than concepts. He said no, angrily. Now, mind you, we've got some things in caps, all caps, and exclamation points, because that'll make him more correct in his not understanding words, while claiming that I'm the one who doesn't understand words. That's his go-to. His immediate go-to is words have meaning, you don't understand words, while he proves that he doesn't understand words. He says, no, make America great is a slogan. Learn to use words right. Learn to use words gooder, much gooder than that. I appreciate your concern for my ability to use words. I'm honored. I'm honored that you would think that me using words to say what I mean is dangerous. I said, so you have never heard of Donald. So if you have never heard of Donald Trump and I told you, hey Dave, I want to make America great, your response would be, what a shitty slogan? Like, I don't understand this. You're screaming about it not being a concept. Every slogan is based around a concept. You. Lord, give me strength. He says, the problem is I have heard of Donald Trump, and that is his slogan. Yes, I know that. But the idea of if, then, in talking, like, I'm trying to break this down so you can understand what I'm saying, and it's still not working. He says, I'm not interested in performing mental gymnastics to help you make your incorrect statements seem valid. And at this point, I had to go out and buy a new computer because I threw it at the wall. It came back and hit me in the face. And I still wasn't having it, so I chucked it out the window. I am aghast at the level of I'm going to use the nice words and say the level of intelligence this man has, which is low, real low. I'm sorry, it may not be your fault. I don't know your life. I don't know your background or your variables, but man, oh man, come on. If you're gonna jump in, at least not this. I'm not interested in performing mental gymnastics. You're insulting yourself at this point, man. I don't even have to do the work. If you think it's mental gymnastics that Make America Great is a concept, then I don't know how to string a 3-word sentence together that you would understand. Somebody else weighs in. James weighs in and says, clearly someone can't read. Poor guy. Ashley put the Michael Scott meme. Why don't you explain this to me like I'm 5? I am sorry. Like, I don't want to be condescending, but I pity somebody who can come to the conclusion that made any sense at all. And like, I was being the mean one by making him think too hard by saying the concept of a concept is different from Donald Trump. It has nothing to do with Donald Trump. You know? I said, Dave, this is where this part of this ends. I think he did chime in somewhere else too, and I ended up getting into it with him again, so we may come across it. We're already pushing an hour spent on reading meme comments. That's fine. It's fine. I feel like I've given enough commentary to justify this. I said, Dave, I'm literally trying to explain the definition of a concept in the simplest words I can. I don't know what else I can do to break this crazy benign idea down for you. An idea can be good and happy at first, and then be used by people as a shield to do bad things, like starting cults around the idea. The good, happy idea is the concept that tricked ignorant people into joining the cult, like you when you joined that cult that whatever brainwashed you to not be able to understand what I'm saying here. One can only imagine the cult that you are in. So the good, happy idea is the concept that tricked ignorant people into joining the cult in the first place. If this is still mental gymnastics for you, let me know, and I'll keep trying to simplify it. And he put a laugh emoji on that. Okay, so AJ, we're moving on to a different thread here, and I'm not going to spend too much more time doing this. But if you're not enjoying it, you might not like the show. You might not like the show very much. Not that I've ever done this before, even, but I'd say it's on brand. AJ says, "Where are the good Proud Boys? Haven't seen any." And then he used the Lisa Simpson GIF tapping on the window saying "concentrate." Oh, by the way, this could be more interesting if I was screen sharing. Remember that. I'm not screen sharing. I'm not making this more interesting because I'm not that much of a dick. If you want to go find these people, it won't be hard. I would encourage you, again, to be the difference, be the change you want to see in the world. Shout out to my boy Gandhi. I don't know anything about Gandhi, really. Yeah, go. Feel free to go correct these people, but do so just smart. That's it. Do so intelligently. That's the main thing I ask. Don't be a dick. But I think that goes without saying. If you're being intelligent, use your logic, use your words. Apparently you'll confuse the hell out of them if you use these big concepts like concept. I said, in response to him saying that there are no good Proud Boys, I said, AJ, in the same way, or he said, yeah. Oh, he said, where are the good Proud Boys? So he asked a question. I said, in the same way Fox News focuses on the looting and rioting of BLM and Antifa, I don't condone any cults. but that might not even be true. I condone. I'm fine with certain people being in cults if they're not harming anyone. I'm not for the idea of cults though. I'm not pro cult. I don't like even the idea of the Libertarian Party. I would love for it to not be a thing that even has to exist because of all the culty problems that surround. Um, so I said I don't condone any cults, but I'm sure there are plenty of well-intentioned peanut butter boys who are working only as militia security defending private property, and I have no problem with that. Which is a point I've already made here. That's the way I've heard them sell it. So regardless of how shitty the people may or may not be, the concept is good. And then Dave. Oh, Dave's back. I told you he'd be back. I think that last thing that I had posted about the mental gymnastics, I think that's where it left off. But we went back and forth on a couple different threads. He was chasing me around, trying to use his his mighty big-brained sword to squash down these people and their evil mental gymnastics. Dave says, nope. Some Nazis, quote, some Nazis were just defending their homeland. Herder. I don't get this. When did it become like, when did people feel superior when they use things like herder or things like making stupid voice out of like that makes you sound dumber. Not me, I can do it like behind this guy's back on the show, obviously, but if I were to do it to his face, that would be like actually using it in the argument itself between two people. If I were to say to my wife, if my wife were talking to me and it was stupid and I used stupid voice on her, that just automatically knocks me down a peg. Like that just takes my argument and puts a few holes in it already because I'm immature enough that I would stoop to essentially name calling because you're saying without saying you're dumb. And you're not owning exactly what you're saying. You're speaking in levels of, you're just putting quotes in there as though that's something that I said. That level of maturity. I said, who's Chris? Because something happened here, and I don't remember what happened. Oh, and then Chris says, my post is gone. Collectivism is bad. Whatever ism these people use. Okay, I'm not sure what happened there. Oh, no. My response to his herder was, Dave goes on to say, neither are the Proud Boys, duh, in the good concept idea. And I said, Dave, do you honestly think the recruitment strategy for the Proud Boys is, hey, come be a Nazi or a racist? And I gotta find the rest of that. Damn it, this is out of order now, because Facebook is shit. But, he said, here it is, not in order, but we'll do our best here. He says, no, it's, quote, come join us because individually we are all weak little bitches. But if enough of us weak little bitches gang up, we can do tough guy army shit, and people will think we're cool and tough. Then you don't understand the words I'm using, man. Like, you keep telling me that I don't understand the words you're using, but you're proving very clearly that you don't understand the words I'm using. Because I'm saying, do you think that was the premise that got people to join the idea, this racist idea or whatever people put on the Proud Boys? And he's saying, no, I think it was this. It's like, but literally? Do you think that? Because we're having a conversation about literally a thing now here. Can you keep up with that? Can you keep up with this premise? And then to say that that's all the Proud Boys are. And if a right-wing person just used this and swapped out Antifa for the Proud Boys, I would not read it any differently. Like, come on. And I said, okay, the Nazis who were killing people were doing so under the name of government. The Nazis weren't a well-intentioned security defending private property. Is that how you think of them? And then he just reacts to everything because of his insecurity level, where he knows that his response is not going to work out, but he's just going to give himself that feeling of the upper hand. And I said, so okay, after he had said the quote thing about about the Proud Boys, I even forgot which one he was talking about. I said that's such a terrible marketing strategy. I almost dare I say, that's such a terrible marketing strategy. It's almost, dare I say, unbelievable. But on a side note, I'm curious what you think Antifa's sell is exactly. He says, Antifa isn't an organization. There we go. There it is. Good job. You got a gold star. You did it. Guys, now when other people dig through this nonsense conversation which nobody's doing, they can go give you a gold star and you'll feel good because you said it. You said the thing. Antifa isn't an organization. Ironically, it's a concept. LOL. You should try to learn what these words mean, since you keep using them. Anyone who stands against fascism is Antifa. So I said the obvious. If they go by the same name, organize together, have meetings, have Facebook groups, and bring people into the group. I don't care. I don't care what you call it, but anyone who destroys private property or seeks to hurt someone not out of defense is bad. But exactly, you've proven my point. They've sold their non-organizational bill of goods as, quote, anyone who stands against fascism is Antifa, and that's a great concept. That is the point that I am making. Thank you. I'm glad we agree now, Dave. Dave says, yes, I do, Chris, and unlike you, I understand the difference between anti-fascism. I don't know. That one fell off, too. It seems as though he didn't even respond to that one. Dave, are you still out there? You want to come on the show? You want to come on the show and have this conversation about this meme? You want to drag this out any further? Because you seem really, really passionate about it. Of course I am. You're attacking my show and my content. I don't even know who you are. Who are you? Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So, yeah, I got the last word, I guess. That's fun. I don't feel cleaner because of it. Oh, shit. He did another thread. I forgot how many threads this guy started and joined and chased me around through, because that's what his day was. That's how much Bart Simpson triggered him. He starts a different thread. Except no, there's nothing good about Proud Boys or MAGA, and none of the things BLM or Antifa have done to fight racism or fascism are bad. In concept? If they actually did something legitimately that was fighting racism and fascism, that is good. Now, if it is the destruction of private property, that's bad. And if we can't at least... I mean, I'm on this, like, fighting windmills quest for finding common ground with people, but if you can't even come to the conclusion that the things that you own are yours, then I've got a bridge to steal from you. Like, how can you even have a conversation with that? Why would I not go steal everything you own? And why would you be allowed to do anything to stop me? And how is that not fascism? What is this fascism that you're fighting so hard? Is it Trump? Is it really? Or is it the divisive powers that be that are making Trump out to be more important than he is? Convincing you that your world's going to fall apart because this evil fascist dictator's here. I'm not buying it, man, and you're giving Trump way too much credit, I think. I go on to say, Dave, I never said anything about good or bad people. I never said any of these groups did anything good. Calm down and read it again. Focus. I think this was the first interaction I had with the guy. Somebody else said, Dave, congrats, you're the reason this meme exists. AJ says, the meme directly states that they are good people. Where is the evidence of this? Meme or not? Now, if I was going to go say the meme directly states, I would definitely be double checking. At least double, maybe triple. I would be like, it did say that, right? And I would check it, and I'd be like, yeah, it definitely says it there. I'm not just paranoid or crazy. It definitely says that there. But AJ, not so much. AJ, not so much, because actually, let me pull this back up here if you're watching. Now read this. The meme is back up for those that are listening to the audio. He says the meme directly states that they are good people. Quote, even, quote, good people. Show me on this meme where the words together, good people. I don't even think people is on this anywhere. People isn't even on this anywhere. You can't quote something that has a lot of words in it, and your quote only has 2 words in it, and one of the words isn't even in the quote, isn't even from the thing that you're quoting. To try and make me feel dumb? The meme directly says it, though, because he said it. Dave interjects and says, "Oh, right, gotta have the semantics perfect." He's got his mental gymnastics hat back on. There's nothing good about the concept of the Proud Boys or the concept of MAGA. So this guy, like, pretending like this is mental gymnastics because you don't want to utter certain words in concession that are truth, that are true. Just if you aren't a scumbag of a human being, like, these concepts are good. That should go with, I don't know. Dave says, "Bye, Felicia." He said that right after his own comment, so I will assume he's talking to himself. But I don't even know who he's talking to anymore. So I responded to them both and said, "AJ, no, it doesn't." AJ was the one that said that. It doesn't. That does not justify any more of a response than read it again, I guess. Because no matter how many times I tell you people, you're not going to go back and actually read the thing to see what it says. Or probably even read it a first time. And then I said, "Dave, I'm not worried about semantics. I'm worried about you not understanding the words I said. I support the concept of a well-intentioned..." Oh, shit, I missed one. Yeah, because this is out of order again, because he posted a comment saying, "LMFAO, admins don't read too good, eh?" I am the ad. What are you talking about? He said, "What's a well-intentioned militia?" Quote. Did you use those words because you forgot that the Constitution says, quote, "well-regulated"? And if you think the Proud Boys represent a well-regulated militia, then he says than, which is a pet peeve of mine. Than, not then. Than. Like, also, if you believe that, than, like, happier than, that type of than? Or then? Did you mean then? Or am I just misunderstanding your words? I don't want to do what you're doing here, mind you. I don't want to make up a complete straw man argument and misinterpret your words because I thought you meant a different thing, and then knock that thing down because it's very easy to do because you didn't actually mean it. Did you mean than, Dave? Did you mean than? So he says, he's saying, well-regulated militia is what I meant, and he's going to attack the validity of that. Also, MAGA isn't a concept, it's a slogan with zero policy behind it. Really? Did Trump make zero policies? Huh. Wow. News. So it looks like I understand the words you used better than you do. Just the level of arrogance that this guy has while he is proving clearly in broad daylight that he has no idea what I'm saying. He's going to use, like, I'm when I said at the beginning that I was a little mean, I'm not nearly as mean as the everybody else was. I'm just trying to dumb my words down enough for you to understand. That is not a me problem, that's a you problem, dumbass. He says, so it looks like I understand words better than you do. And so the response to that, out of order, says, "I'm not worried about semantics. I'm worried about you not understanding the words I said. I support the concept of a these might not be in the wrong order. I'm just dumb. Sorry, some guys, I'm dumb. I said well-intentioned militia. I say it again because I have to keep repeating myself that I forgot that I had to say this so many times. But somewhere in here, good Lord, yes. I don't know why this is all the way at the bottom now. I said, Dave, concept. If you understood the words I'm using, you wouldn't post comments saying you think I mean, saying what you think I mean, and then arguing with yourself. I did not say well regulated because I didn't mean well regulated. If I must explain what that means as well, I shall. If a group of people with all the noblest of intentions decide to join together and take up arms to defend themselves, their private property, I believe that they have the right to it, if not the responsibility to do so. That is a concept. I did not say MAGA had implemented any policy at all. However, I would certainly think that any policy Trump implemented directly could be considered, correct me if I'm wrong, considered a policy done in the name of MAGA. But I digress. I think it's okay to want to make America great. That is a concept. Do you understand? Focus. I said focus. I don't know. This goes on way too long. I'm not going to read the entire conversation. I just feel like you have to, like, I was going to make some notes and just go off of the notes, and I've got notes here, but just reading it again is better because I can't do this justice. Am I wrong? Was I too confusing with my mental gymnastics here? If I'm wrong, let me know. Shoot me an email, dan@tsidpod.com, or just give me a call, 309-716-3818. Leave me a voicemail. I'll listen to it. Let me know if I'm wrong. I want to know. And he's responding to things out of order. And then they had started, like, I misread something that some other guy said, and they were, like, poking fun at me or something, and then I got busy, and they felt like they had won, and so they, whatever. And I didn't even understand that there was a joke being made, so I did not care, was not butthurt, like they think. Like, this is the scraps that these people get. This is their victory for the day. Like, this is what brings them joy, is like, oh, remember that thing? It's like, but I don't care about that. I care about the conversation that we're having, guys. I don't care about how you got a sick burn that was so badass that I didn't even catch it. Even now, I don't even remember what it was. I responded to the wrong person or something, and then they corrected me in a snarky way. Whatever. So, going down, yeah, these are totally, I think these are out of order. Yeah, so Dave said, like I said, reading comprehension isn't this guy's strong suit. And I'm not, it's not that I'm avoiding this because I don't want you to read it. Go read it. I don't care. Nothing was said, like, offensively that I cared about. I just wanted to continue the conversation. So he said, LMAO, it wasn't a vague insult. Oh, I said, yeah, because I came back after this was all settled, and they were celebrating their victory of table scraps, of takedown of a big, bad Trump supporter who doesn't support Trump and talks about it all the time. I said, vague insults, the voice of the failed debaters. And he said, LMAO, it wasn't a vague insult. You read Michael's comment wrong, got called out on it, and you still haven't figured out why we're all laughing at you. And I said, oh boy, my bad, you got me. Good job, you win. Tell your friends. Like, what am I supposed to do with that? Like, oh man, silly me. Like, what do you want from me? You've been, like, following me around all day, attacking all the words that I say, and you expect me to give a crap about you poking fun at me? Who cares? He said, Robert comes in and says he even tagged the person he was calling a leftist. Let me double check. Nope, it wasn't you. That's what it was. I thought somebody was calling me a leftist. They weren't. And so I had a response. Now I feel like I should respond, or I should go back and read it so you have full context. This is just drudgery, though. This is drudgery. If you want it, you can go find it. The correct response would be, whoopsies, I misread your comment. Sorry. I did respond to that. Why isn't it here? Dave says, Robert, but the humor has united us all. Okay, good. Like, that's literally how little I care. If you guys could unite together and just be a little happier and enjoy comedy, that'd be great. But clearly, I feel like any nuance is going to be lost on you people. And when I say you people, let me double check. Let me check. Dave is white. When I say you people, Dave is white. Damn it! I know I responded to that. Did I not? There's just so many Dave comments that I can't even figure out what is what. Whatever. Yeah, okay. So I found my response. I said, because so Michael or somebody said something calling somebody a leftist, and I was confused. I was like used to it because I've been called a leftist on multiple times today. It just seemed like a strange thread to join where somebody's calling me hard right wing or whatever they want to use, alt right. Somebody comes into that and then calls me a leftist. Like, that's the epitome of confusing. I didn't see that he had tagged somebody else. My bad. But whatever. Yeah, and so then they started attacking me on my reading and comprehension skills, which I make fun of much more than you do. So we can agree on that at least. Finding that common ground. Good job, guys. Yeah, I thought I responded to this, but apparently I didn't. I don't really care. Maybe I will. I mean, just letting these people feel like they have won something, and when it's like, you don't even understand the thing I'm saying. I've talked about this meme for an hour and 25 minutes. If you made it this far, go join the forum and leave me the password. The password is exploratory. Go post exploratory in there, because that means you listened. We'll call it the post of shame. It'll always be the post of shame, because that means you listened to way too much of me rambling for any given week. Especially if you listened to the episode earlier this week, and now you listen to all of this, and you're making it to the end now. Yeah, we're wrapping it up here, because good lord. What else am I supposed to do with this? If you made it this far, though, go into the forum or text me or email me or something. The password is exploratory, so I know that you have joined the post of the group of shame, the post of shame posters, downers, shame downers. We'll workshop it. These are just the ideas. But if you would like to let me know that you made it this far, exploratory is the word of the day. Yay! You said the magic word. Yeah, guys, most importantly, I'm kind of mad at myself now, because I talked for an hour and a half, and I feel like I barely even touched on the main thing here, which is your government doesn't give two shits about you. Your government doesn't love you. They're not encouraging you to get a vaccine or wear masks or lock down or any of these things because they love you. No, they're not. Your government is doing what's in their own best interest. Always. Almost always. Probably. Maybe. Yeah, I would say probably always. Because your government doesn't love you, guys. Like, I feel like we're living in a time where that should be easier for everybody to understand. We should all be able to unite a little bit around that. We've got many, many differences, clearly. We've got some stupid people in our circles, clearly. That's fine. Like, I didn't even kick him out. He started name-calling at some point. He started calling people dumbasses and stuff like that, which I don't typically abide by. But it's got to be, like, I didn't feel like this is stupid, but it wasn't, like, dangerous, or, like, I felt like I needed to get this guy out of here, or he's going to be dangerous. I think that you guys can decide for yourself what is truth and what isn't based on the evidence that is presented to you. And I hope that I've presented enough evidence to you that, words matter. Words matter, guys. The main point is that the government is bad. That's really it. Pull it back up here. Who do you think is really dividing us? It shouldn't be this meme. The fact that this meme creates as much perceived division and anger as it does It's kind of part of it, isn't it? Like, we've got the media who, like, if Trump just got into the White House and just did his job and he was as good at it as he was, and the media wasn't constantly telling us all these made up things about him. I'm not saying he was good at his job. I'm saying if he was just as bad as Barack Obama was, if he did everything exactly the same as Barack Obama was, and the media treated him the way they did Barack Obama, we wouldn't be as divided about MAGA right now. We want to be divided about the concept of making America great, or the slogan, sorry, Dave. um, we wouldn't be so divided on that premise if it wasn't attached to this guy who, yes, some of his words are divisive, but even if he, like, if you take Trump's own divisive stuff out of the equation and just look at what the media has done to his benign stuff, you got to put some blame there, right? Like, all of it. He's part of it, in my opinion. He's part of it. He's part of the division. He's part of this system, and this system is down. And man, if you want to prove that you're in a cult, do this. Go out, swing. Like, Dave's got to be doing this all day long, right? Like, he didn't just choose me to get 5 hours of his day. I'm not special. I don't even know Dave. I've never even heard from him in our groups or anything. I don't know anything about the guy. I didn't even know if he was white or black. But Dave clearly does this, and it's not just to me. This seems like it might be Dave's thing. And some of the rest of you, like, you can be angry at any one of these groups, and you would be justified to degrees. Just know that those groups are comprised of individuals who are free-thinking individuals who were brainwashed into joining a cult. Don't do it. Don't do it. Or at least vet your cult a little bit. Make sure you're doing something right. I don't know, guys. But I do think the government is the biggest problem here. I think that the mainstream media, in association with the government, because I don't think that they're not in bed together, clearly. Is there any question to that? I think it's all a big elaborate ploy to keep us bickering and arguing about this stuff. And I just wanted to clarify what the hell I meant, which was supposed to be a unifying message, but apparently it got... I mean, it was supposed to be... I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to bullshit you. It wasn't supposed to be just a face value unifying message. But if you think about it, if you sit with it for a second, that's a pretty unifying message. Focus on the real problem. The real problem is the people who have literal authority over you in our system right now. At least the people with the most authority. But people in high power, be it even high power, like if Donald Trump is the king of MAGA, if I don't know, what's his face, Chaz guy is the leader of BLM. I know he's not. I know he's barely even. I don't even think he's that connected. If Kamala Harris is the leader of BLM, just kidding, she doesn't talk to them. If that black guy is the leader of the Proud Boys, ironically, like, just stop following cults of personality. Just think for yourself, at least. Make sure, is it true? Are the things that they're saying truth? Are they trying to give you truth? Are they trying to empower you with knowledge, or are they trying to flower things up, make you look over here, do smoke and mirrors while they do stuff shady behind the scenes? Just pay attention to that. And if you're trying to get somebody out, pull somebody out of this brainwashing that has fallen into the matrix, just don't. When you start, don't even talk to them. Like, don't start by talking to them in any way whatsoever. Start by maybe even looking into the thing that they've been sucked into, so you understand what it is that they were enticed by. And then ask them, what enticed you into feeling this way? And then we can all agree on what the real problem... We've got freaking Proud Boys getting arrested for petty crimes. We've got Proud Boys getting, what was it? Like some protest. They got maced or something. And that in conjunction with all the lockdowns and everything that's going on with COVID, we've got Proud Boys that are mad at cops now. When George Floyd died, everybody was kind of in agreement. We're against cops. But then there's these triggers. There's these things that pop off that make us all divide again. It's like we build up this thing and we're like, okay, we can all agree, right, that government's bad and a lot of cops do bad things and they shouldn't have the amount of power that they do. Or we need to, at the very least, we need to rethink this thing. We all kind of came together and then popped off. Just giant explosion. Start burning things down, and then we're divided again. Same thing here. Like, something's going to happen. Something's going to happen where, I don't know. I don't know. Where do we go from here? What comes next? Like, we've got, the Proud Boys are leaning back more towards being anti-cop. Can we kind of talk a little bit? Can we kind of relate on that? On a common enemy? Can we work together, or at least acknowledge the fact that pretty much all these people are for limited government? Pretty much all these people are pushing for liberty. They're pushing for independent individual liberty. People don't join MAGA for the racism. They don't. They don't. Okay? They join because they think that that's the best approach, probably to draining the swamp and getting more personal liberty back. I don't think it is, but that's why they joined. I think every single one of these groups are pushing for that. Can we all just try to push for that together? And then we can all go back to calling each other names tomorrow. But while the common enemy is here, staring us, glaring us in the face, can we all just at least point to it and say, look at that. That sucks, doesn't it? That giant beast over there? That's bad. And then the Black Lives Matter people will say, yes, Biden and Harris are completely ignoring them. How have things improved? People who have joined that cult can look and say, yeah, the government is a problem in this area. Cops are government, guys. Just deal with it. I'm talking more about, like, higher level or big cities or stuff where the cops are, probably more corrupt. I'm not necessarily talking about your everyday cops. I don't think all cops are bastards. I think most cops are bastards. Okay? Is that clear enough? Clear as mud. But Black Lives Matter can agree, or should be able to agree. If they're honest and not buying the brainwashing, they should be able to agree government's bad. Okay? The Proud Boys should be able to agree. I mean, brainwashing of being a huge thin blue line, every cop is a hero supporter type. You know, if you take that brainwashing, set it aside, Proud Boys want, I would imagine, limited government. Otherwise, they wouldn't be forming militias. I mean, we don't have a need for the Proud Boys if the Proud Boys' opinion on the cops being good, that people, at least the way people spin the Proud Boys or say that the Proud Boys are just copsuckers or whatever. If that is true, then what would we even need the Proud Boys for? The idea of Antifa, it's a good one. Even though not a lot of good. How much I want to see. Can somebody show me the case? Any of the cases where Antifa did something to help an individual, saw a need and did something to help that wasn't destructive? Why don't we hear about, I don't know, you can say, it's because they're anti-fascists, they wear masks, and they don't want to be identified because it's not a group, it's not about them, it's about the collective whole. Okay, but why doesn't the collective whole do any good things? I love the concept, guys. Spot on. You nailed it. But how come there's not bake sales or helping old ladies across the street attributed to Antifa? I don't know. Other than fighting fascism, anything that you guys are doing that's good. Spreading awareness of being anti-fascist. That's like spreading awareness of cancer. We've been over this. Nobody likes it. And if you're forcing somebody to like it, then you're the fascist. So, okay. And the concept of MAGA, we've been over all this. The concept of government, flat out, we should all be able to agree. Antifa obviously doesn't like government. MAGA, even those people joined for limited government because they went with Trump saying he was going to drain the swamp. And he didn't. And we all agree that government's bad. You get it. You get it. You get it. I've killed this one. This is ridiculous. Good Lord. But if you've enjoyed this, if you want more nonsense like this, great. Stick around because this show's not getting any better. No, I'm just kidding. No, I am working. Actually, the construction that's going on in my house right now is because we are moving my daughter down to the basement as she wants. She'll have a bathroom down there. It's a good deal for her, good deal for me, because I get to knock out that wall and make this into a much more elaborate studio layout that will be enjoyable. And I'll be able to more comfortably have guests, more comfortably do things at a quicker pace and get them out to you. Yeah, lots of big things coming down the pipe. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you, find it worth the time. If you do, go on over to patreon.com/thesystemsdown and consider giving us more of your time. But first, more of your money. All right. Again, guys, go join the forums. Go like, share, subscribe, yada, yada, algorithms, bullshit, whatever. I've talked too long. We can get out of here. But question everything. Stay uncomfortable. I don't know what the future holds, but I hope that it's as exciting as I think it is. Because you can only have these conversations for so long before people start to realize, before the brainwashing starts to wear off, before they start seeing holes in their masks and seeing outside of the matrix. And outside of the matrix, my friends, it's not pretty. It's not like a flowery, happy thing. It's just this dark, sad, depressing, lonely place where everybody thinks you're this or that or the next thing. But I still think it's worth it. If you want to be Cypher, if you want to eat that steak and say ignorance is bliss, I don't think that's good enough. I think we need more people out here. So come on out. Let's do it. Let's change the world one uncomfortable conversation at a time. We'll be back with some more of it next week. I'll throw a bunch of things at you all over the social media between now and then. But until then, question everything. Stay uncomfortable, and I'll talk to you then. Thanks. And that button never works. Dun, 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 dun. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe on your way out and help us change the world one uncomfortable conversation at a time. And if you like what you hear and you want to hear more, go join the Downers Club at patreon.com/thesystemsdown for bonus episodes of the show every single week. Until next time, please continue to question everything, stay uncomfortable, and I'll talk to you then. Thanks.
This has been a Goulash Media production. GoulashMedia.net.
This concludes our broadcast day. Click.